What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. I want to go over this quick topic. Life is meant to be enjoyed. So let's get into it. Just a little disclaimer. I'm outside, so you might hear cars passing by, but let's get into it. So yes, life is supposed to be enjoyed. Doesn't mean that every day is going to feel like this, happy, go lucky, type of feeling. No. And that's not really what you're supposed to be aiming for, but you're supposed to be aiming for a life of fulfillment, because life is supposed to be it's supposed to be experienced at its fullest, right? You're supposed to experience life to its fullest capability, hence the word living a life of fulfillment. So what does fulfillment mean? It's living a life of intention. Everything you do has meaning, right? Everything you do, right? From, enjoying people, from, laughing to cooking to, getting certain necessities that you need for your life. You have to understand that everything should be met with a meaningful experience. Everything, right? And when you don't, and that's why it's very important to understand what you are doing, or what you are doing here in this life. So not what you're just doing for certain things, but you have to really understand what you are meant to do here in this life. Because once you understand what you're meant to do, right, you can have fulfillment. You can live this life with a sense of enjoyment, with a sense of purpose, right? So life is meant to be enjoyed, right? There's so many beautiful things here in life. Whether you're looking at the trees, you're looking at the birds, you're looking at the grass, you're looking at people. There's a beautiful interconnectedness inside of life that you're just like, wow. When you really stop to understand it and you experience it, but you're also learning the meanings behind it, you're like, wow, it's a privilege to be alive. You get what I'm saying? It's a privilege. It's an honor to be alive. And you can really start to understand, like, okay, I understand why I wanted to come here. So this is, I could be a very optimistic person, but let's not get it twisted, right? I understand the other side of life. Now, here's the kicker on this, right? You have to really realize that anything that takes you out of the enjoyment of enjoying this beautiful world, you're at war. You have to understand this. Anything that takes you out of enjoyment of this world, of your life, of enjoying other people, enjoying what's here for you to experience, you're at war. Now, this is also part of life, because you have to understand one thing that, as I got older and I became more mature, I started to understand that if I want to, you have to understand that when you start to see how beautiful life is and you enjoy it so much, you're willing to go to war for it, right? So you have to understand, war is not bad. War is not bad. There's going to be things inside of this life that is going to try to take your enjoyment away from you. But if you enjoy it so much and you love it so much, you're willing to fight for it. It's not something that you have to build courage for. Like, say for instance, I always talk about this, right? When you were a kid, or maybe still right now inside of your life, has your parents ever taken something away from you that you've enjoyed? And what did you do? You was like, you bickered about it. You try to fight them back for it, because they're stepping on something that is yours to be enjoyed, right? When you start to understand the meaning of life and you start to really, really enjoy what you're doing, you're enjoying your purpose, and somebody tries to come and take it from you, you're going to war. You have to understand this. So, a lot of people, they does war have a certain aspect on it of, negativity? Yes, it does. But at the same time, you have to understand that in this world, if you're looking to enjoy the things of what's around you, if you're looking to enjoy this human experience, you have to be willing to fight for it and have fun fighting for it. You get what I'm saying? Have fun fighting for the things that you enjoy. Because on the other side, you have to understand opposites. On the other side of enjoyment is destruction. And you have to learn how to become destructive when somebody takes something away from you that you love. So understand that war is not bad. Actually, I always tell people, it's very important to study war, to understand war, to understand combat, to understand different styles of fighting, because things in this world is always going to come to try to take things away from you, and that's a part of life. But you have to understand that I'm not going down without a fight. And when you fight me, you're going to have to enjoy it, because I'm going to enjoy it back. So I hope you love this message. Peace and love.